हेलो एंड वेलकम। मेरा नाम रिधमा पाठक और ये है Sky 247.net presents not just cricket. And now let's shift gears. डॉक्टर DY पाटिल स्टेडियम से चलते हैं सीधा पुणे MCA की तरफ। मेरे साथ है क्रिकेट के दो धुरंधर दीप दासगुप्ता एंड लालचंद राजपूत. Welcome to the show, Deep. It's been a really long time. How have you been?
Yeah, it's really nice. Very good. And yourself?
Myself, fantastic. But I wish Mumbai can say the same as we kick off the season, hoping that they get 2 points today. Well, Lalchand sir, अगर मुंबई की बात करें, yeah, sure, please go ahead.
No. Go on, really.
No, I was just saying, Lalchand sir, अगर मुंबई की बात करें तो there is nothing new about the way they've started because ऐसे start वो बहुत बार कर चुके हैं. In fact, 2015 में भी उन्होंने ऐसा start किया and they went ahead and won the season. So, are we looking at just another casual start for Mumbai, या फिर there are areas of worries here?
No, to be very honest, Mumbai always start like that because if you look at that trend, if they have not started off well, they end off well. So I think they must be looking at that angle as well. So hopefully they start off taking some points, and I'm sure the team management must be looking at that angle as well because you can't keep on losing too often. Then you get into a habit of losing. Because you always say you got to get into a habit of winning, and I'm sure this game will be very crucial because they are playing at Wankhede, their home ground normally. So I'm sure they will be looking at some points to get from this game.
Yeah, that's right. Deep, the thing is that while we do see the start from Mumbai quite often than not, but what is worrying is the last defeat they had against Kolkata, the 5-wicket defeat, which was a very crushing defeat.
It was, and also with 4 overs to spare and that knock from Pat Cummins, 56 or 15, that must have been extremely demoralizing if you're at the receiving end, obviously. Yes, but having said that, my only concern this year for Mumbai is the fact that, till last season, they had a very solid side and very well settled side. I'm not saying that this year isn't solid, but I think it's work in progress. So that is my only concern this year with Mumbai Indians. The other years, obviously, they would have. I mean, it was quite normal, as you mentioned, and Lalubhai mentioned. It was normal to have a slowish start, but you knew that they're going to pick it up. But this year, because the team is new and there are quite a few new faces, it doesn't seem like they're settled. So that's where my concerns stem from. So this year, they have to, try that much harder.
That's right. And Lalchand sir, do you think there's a task cut out for Rohit Sharma, not just in terms of leading the team, but also his own form?
Yes, you can say that, but I think, as you know, Rohit is a fantastic player. We all know that. Yes, he's getting those starts, but he's not making it big. I think it's just one big inning away from the way he's batting. As a captain, yes, it's a worry that because you have to get back into that winning position too often. But last game, I think that was the very, I would say, a crucial game to lose in that 15 overs. That really must be a worrying factor because if you look at that, then their bowling is getting exposed. Apart from Bumrah, the spinners, I think they are lacking that spinner because earlier Kunal used to bowl in between. Then they had that Chahar as well, like spinner. So that spot is really a worrying factor for me, and also the middle order. See, earlier they used to have Hardik Pandya, Pollard. They were there. Then Kunal Pandya. They used to get into that position or that zone because they could get that 20 overs in a over as well. But now I think if Pollard doesn't fire, then they are struggling in the middle on the death. Yes, Ishan Kishan is started off very well. Surya is back in form as well and among runs. So Rohit has to start firing now, and hopefully Pollard finishes the game because there is no one to finish now unless Surya or Rohit bats through.
That's right. Now we'll talk about the bowling attack of Mumbai and dig deep as to what is the basic issue there. But before that, Deep, of course, Bangalore is boosted by Glenn Maxwell, and so is your fantasy team, is it?
Hell yes. Listen, I mean, it's good to have him back. Obviously, I mean, he missed for a very good reason as well the first few games. But he's been a revelation last season, and I personally believe, and I think I did mention it last season that this franchise suits him a little more. If you see those numbers, it's like chalk and cheese in terms of years before that and last season. So yeah, obviously it's just having spoken to him a few times and also heard him in speaking about it. He's always mentioned the fact that last season his role was very well defined. There was this clarity in his role, what was expected of him, and also the fact that I think he likes the responsibility. So last season, every game he batted at four. He came out and batted with a lot of responsibility, and I think that suits him. And also, as I mentioned, the franchise. Like, listen, he's an outgoing, extrovert kind of a person, and so is the franchise. If you look at the franchise's personality as well, it's very similar. And that's where I thought even last season, the moment he signed for Bangalore, I thought this is a good fit here.
Indeed, he is. And Lalchand sir, we saw that numbers. He seems to be doing really good in Bangalore's colours. Clearly, the X factor because he can change the game in a jiffy.
Yeah, see, you need a guy who can change the game, in just 1 over, and he's the guy. He's a match winner. To be very honest, you can till he's there on the pitch, you can rely that yes, he's going to win you game. He has got the X factor. He can hit sixes at will, and he's got power. And I'm sure, Mumbai must be looking to get him out early because he's back, and I'm sure he wants to make. The presence felt in the game. So I'm sure, and Mumbai is the best team. So Bangalore must be looking at him at, I think, getting off very good start.
That's right. Now we're talking about these two teams who had contrasting fortunes at the beginning of the C20 Indian T20 League, and I think one of the biggest positives, Deep, for Bangalore has been Dinesh Karthik because not just as a finisher but also the kind of mindset that he seems to be appearing in.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, listen, I mean, I having a chat with him last season, and I was like, "What's your plan?" He's like, "Do you think I can still play for him?" I said, "Yeah, why not?" And he honestly thinks that he can make a comeback here. And the way he's going about his job, he definitely can. I mean, look at those numbers. I mean, it still hasn't been dismissed as yet. Strike rate of 204. And I think last few years, what has also happened is I think he's found his niche in this format. He knows exactly what to do. Even I mean, last game was a great example of that, right? I mean, uh, wickets fell early on. DK didn't come out. They sent in Shabazz, right? I mean, generally, you wouldn't do that, but because there is again that clarity thought that we were talking about, very well defined roles. He only came after a certain period of time, after 12, 13 overs were done with. So I think that is kind of also helping him that clarity as far as his role is concerned, and he's looking so good at this point in time. To be very honest, he's looking like the best finisher in this tournament so far.
And he's also looking good because of his wardrobe. Guys, I mean, as cool is his mindset, that spunk is in his wardrobe, Lalchand sir. Check it, take
Yeah,
a look at it.
see, as Deep said, a clear, you know, I think role has been given to him. I think last year he was really burdened with the captaincy. So you have to manage too many people because he was a keeper, then he was a captain, then again he has to win games. So I think that really made too much. I think thinking on him. Now he's no more captain. He has got a clear role that you got to be a finisher, and I think he's enjoying that role. So as a player, if you know that what role the team wants and they're going to back him, I think it has done wonders for him to, I think, Bangalore team, because he was really under pressure. Remember, in Kolkata, people were saying that he should be removed in between 2 years before. So I think there were a lot of things going on in his mind. So as a player, if you have a clear mind, you perform better, and that's what is happening with DK. Uh, I'm sure he is an asset to Bangalore team.
That's right. Now let's talk about the positives from Mumbai, where it has been, of course, the emergence of Tilak Verma along with Badoni. What do you think about it, Deep? Quite the find of the season.
Oh, definitely yes. I mean, he's been brilliant. Sorry, you who did you mention?
Tilak Verma.
Tilak
Oh,
Verma.
Tilak. Sorry, yeah.
Yeah.
Tilak Verma, yes, he's a revelation, but also, I mean, anyone who's been following domestic cricket would know that he is a very, very good talent. He's played for India in the under 19 level as well. He is, but you know what was really good to see or heartening to see was how matured his 3 innings has been so far. Even the last game, his partnership with Surya was very, very matured. How they took that game forward. Obviously, it helps to have someone like Surya alongside you. But the way I mean, he played that innings and the innings before as well. Obviously, he's extremely talented. And you know, the thing about Mumbai this year, and I guess I'm repeating myself, I think Mumbai this year is work in progress. You would see the real Mumbai team, this team, kind of mature next year. Dewald Brevis, Tilak, Ishan Kishan will only get better. Rohit, obviously, you have the senior players like Rohit, Bumrah, and Surya. Add Jofra in that mix as well. So, yes, I think this team might not be performing up to the levels that we've seen Mumbai do in the past, but just hold on for a year. Give them 1 year.
All right, the team in the making, and there is one team that has been already made. That's the fantasy team by Lalchand Rajput. Well, this is the fantasy tracker powered by Sky247.net. Okay, let's take a look at the team that Lalchand sir has made. Sir, take me through the team. Aapke captain है Faf du Plessis and your vice captain is Ishan Kishan.
See, I think Fab du Plessis is a senior guy who's been doing so well, and I'm sure he will carry on. Ishan Kishan is a revolution. I think this year he has been fantastic. Virat Kohli, we all expect that he will come good and in good form, because we have seen Virat Kohli just scoring and taking matches. He's a very good finisher. And take Surya Kumar Yadav. I think everybody knows Glenn Maxwell. Again, I would say he is the game changer. Tilak Verma, we just talked about him. I feel he has got a bright future, and in the years to come, he will be playing for the country as well. And Shabaz Nadi Ahmed, I think last game you saw the sixes he hit, fantastic. Hasaranga, ICC #1 bowler and leg spinner. Harshal Patel, last year's leading wicket taker, and the way he has developed himself, a very good slower one, Yorkers. He has got a lot of variations in. Bumrah, one of the best bowlers in this format. And I have taken Taimur Mills because he is quick. On 1 KD pitch, somebody who can bowl really quick and has got some bounce, I think he will trouble batsmen. So that's the reason why I have taken this tip.
All right, I hope those tips help you guys. आप जरा नोट बना लियो इस टीम की जब आप अपनी फैंटेसी टीम बना रहे हो. That was, of course, a fantasy tracker powered by Sky247.net. All right, let's talk about the bowling issues that we have for Mumbai. Deep, you think it is the way they played their purse? Because Bumrah ke alawa, I don't see a very big name out there in that bowling attack. They have Jofra Archer, but not for this year.
Yeah, and they have Jaydev Unadkat, they have a few Basil Thampi. But when you're looking at that bowling attack, obviously Murugan Ashwin's been a consistent performer in the league for the last 3-4 years. But when you look at that side, I mean, like, where are the match winners? Bumrah is there, but I don't see match winners. Obviously, you mentioned about Jofra Archer; he won't be available this season, and hope he recovers completely before next season starts. Because as of now, he started bowling, but he hasn't played any competitive cricket. I think he's going to start with the English summer. But as you mentioned, there are no bowlers there, match winners that they've picked. Look at some of the other teams and how they've spent on bowlers this year, or rather this auction. Most of the teams have spent a lot of money, or the big money, on bowlers, because I think that mindset is kind of shifting. Earlier on, it used to be, okay, let's look at batters, or then let's look at all rounders, and now a lot of money and money is spent on fast bowlers here, and that's where I think Mumbai may have missed a trick there. Picking up a quality, maybe Indian or overseas fast bowler. So again, going back to that point, apart from Bumrah, who hasn't really hit the ground running this season, I don't see too many match winners out there. People who can pick up 2-3 wickets like last season. Till last season, you had Trent Bolt, right? If Bumrah doesn't get you Trent Bolt, especially with the new ball. So, and then you had Rahul Chahar. So you had options who would pick up wickets. And when I looked at this side, yes, you got Timal Mills, who's a really good T20 bowler. But at this, in this tournament, we haven't really seen him do that. So he's still an unproven commodity as far as this tournament is concerned.
That's true. I mean, we also take a look at those numbers. That was a numbers tracker. Of course, that was powered by Sky247.net. And Lalchand sir, if you take a look at those numbers, अगर आप देखो 90 करोड़ में मैं एक्टर बनने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ. I'll try and take the right pauses someday. Okay, Lalchand sir, 90 करोड़ की में था उनके पास पर्स देखिए जरा यहाँ पर. And after the retained players and the big bids, they had only 13.5 crores left for 17 spots. Clearly, they missed the game there when it came to the bowling attack.
Yeah, I think the think tank really missed it there because look at bowling attack. There is no bowler who can really appear apart from Bumrah. As Deep rightly said earlier, they had Trent bowled, and before that, they had bowlers like Chahar, leg spinner, then Kunal. But now I think they are struggling for bowlers who can win you games. If Mumra, Bumrah doesn't, take early wickets, then they will have problem. So they are relying on one bowler, to be very honest. Spinners, I think they are struggling. I feel that they are really, really weak in spin department. Batting, they have made it very heavy. The only way they can win if they bat second, because if they bat first and they're bowling, I think the teams will definitely chase if they play sensible. So if they want to win, bat second, and then the top three one guy has to get big 100 or bat till the end, and then Pollard can come at the end and then finish the game. But otherwise, I think their bowling is definitely a weakling or a worrying factor, I would say.
जी, this looks like a typical shopaholic bag जहाँ पे आप बिना जरूरत की चीजों पे बहुत ज्यादा खर्चा कराए, बट यहाँ पे जब जरूरत की चीज पड़ी उसके लिए पैसे नहीं बचे. But I'm going to take the right pause right now and tell you that this was numbers tracker powered by Sky247.net. That's all. Right, sir. ताजा खबर आ गई है. Bangalore have opted to bowl first, as usual. यहाँ पे no surprises. Deep.
Yeah, no surprises at all. But you know what? जो यहाँ पे पुणे का एक खासियत ये है कि यहाँ पे ड्यू फैक्टर कोई मेजर फैक्टर नहीं है, और इनफैक्ट अंडर लाइट्स यहाँ पे स्विंग ज्यादा होती है गेंद, क्योंकि ड्यू नहीं है तो उसका ऑब्वियसली इफेक्ट जो है वो मतलब पॉजिटिव इफेक्ट रहता है बॉलिंग साइड के पास, और अंडर लाइट स्विंग दैट डज हैपन. सो इट इज नॉट, और अभी तक जो 3 मैचेस खेले गए हैं, लीव असाइड द लास्ट गेम, वो पैट कमिंस का वो 15 बॉल 56 आप हटा दें अगर, teams batting first have won 2 out of the 3 games, right? So it's not a bad idea to kind of bowl first here, rather bat first.
Okay, so there are some big updates that are coming. पहले बात तो आपको बता दूं कि Hyderabad have beaten Chennai, 4th straight defeat for the defending champions. और of course जिस तरीके से हम यहाँ पे होप करें कि जो शर्मा जी के लड़के रोहित शर्मा आज जाके बड़े शॉट्स लगाए, वहां पे अभिषेक शर्मा has already done it, Lalchand sir.
Yeah, but I had already said in the show that who will win. So my prediction is right because
correct.
I said, so I said that today is the day where I think Hyderabad will start winning and getting some points. So it's good to see Abhishek Sharma getting runs. And see what happens. Some teams really want, they get into a habit of, their combination right and then start winning. As I said in the afternoon game, due factor is not there. So the batting second doesn't matter much. But batting second, you have an idea of what the target is and what you're chasing. So that makes it a little bit easier, and I think they have really done well and started off on taking points. So it's good to see that Hyderabad has started taking some points.
Yeah, Hyderabad get 2 points with that. And one more update here: Bangalore has one change, and again, no surprise there. Deep Maxwell comes in for Shofin Rutherford.
Yeah, I mean that was straightforward, isn't it?
Straightforward.
We were expecting that, so yeah, no big. But it'll be interesting to see because Maxwell hasn't played a lot of competitive cricket last weekend. Before this, the BBL, he was phenomenal. I think 450 odd runs in 30. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how he kind of gets into the rhythm.
Yeah, that is there. And with, let's talk about the game that we just finished also. Hyderabad versus Chennai. Now, Chennai really need to step up their game. But having said that, if we come again to Abhishek Sharma's knockdeep, looked very composed and very good power shots as well. And that partnership with Kane Williamson, 89, I think totally ruled the
Yeah.
field out there, giving Hyderabad those 2 points.
Yeah, Abhishek, listen, this is his fifth year with Hyderabad. So he's been around for a while, even though he's a very young guy. And I still remember when he first was picked, and I was having a chat with BTS, and he says, "You've got to watch this kid, left-hander, looks like Yuvraj, it has that same flow, bowls left arm spin, but he hasn't really kind of, converted that potential or talent into performances." So I'm so glad that he's got it now, and he's also playing in a different role. He's opening now. All these years he was batting middle order, lower middle order, and he's not a power hitter. Again, today was a great example that he's not a power hitter. He's more of a touch player. So I think him opening the innings should help both Hyderabad and him personally. And you've got some really good people in that dugout. I was watching them during that strategic break, and Brian was there in his ears and he was explaining it to him. I mean, come on, I mean, how many people, how many youngsters get that opportunity? And I just hope he kind of grabs every word that is coming out of his mouth and kind of helps him through his career.
Yeah, that's. I saw those images on television. I was like, wow, that's a lot of runs right there in one frame. Okay, guys, we are shifting gears between two matches. It's a double header. So, again, I'll go back to the match that we have in our hands right now, where there are two changes for Mumbai. Unadkat comes in place of Mills, and Ramandeep comes in place for Sams. Lalchand, sir, your take on these changes?
Uh, I think they had to change, especially in their bowling department. And I'm sure Unadkat, who has been around for so long, and in one of the years he has done exceptionally well. और मुझे लगता है कि yes, मुंबई का pitch में he will try and do something. And being a left-hander as well, and he's been doing exceptionally well in the domestic circuit as well. Because so it will be a good opportunity for him to show that he's still the better bowlers among the domestic circuit. And I'm sure Mumbai Indians will be looking at that they get that early inroads. To be very honest, because if you look at the batting, if you don't take early wickets, then the team will. If the same thing happened with Hyderabad now, because they had a very good partnership, 89 runs partnership, that sets the tone for the rest of the game, because that's very important. And I'm sure with these bowling changes, Ramandeep and Unadkat, they will be looking at really getting early wickets for Mumbai.
Yeah. The Sam's exclusion is no surprise then. He was taken for 35 runs by Cummins in an over.
I guess so, yeah. But it's also a little unfair if you think about it, because you've picked him as an all-rounder, right? He's not nowadays. He's not only a bowler. He bats at number seven. He gives you those four overs, and it can happen. One of game can happen all the time, and it was, yeah, fair enough. Was a nightmare. Maybe it is more than being a tactical or based on one innings. It for a player individually also, it's very difficult to kind of get away from that kind of an over. You know what I'm saying? If I'm Daniel Sams, I'm gonna have a few sleepless nights. So I'm not too sure whether this is just because of those 35 runs and he's not good enough, or maybe still kind of mentally not ready or has recovered from it, because it can't be easy. That over to get over that over can't be easy for any bowler. So it could be anything, but yeah, based on one bad over in out of three games, I think can be a little unfair.
Yeah, but on the other side, we've got Anuj Rawat, and you've got to say that it's good to see Bangalore keeping faith with Anuj Rawat. Lalchan, sir.
Yeah, I think it's unfair if you just take somebody out after 2 3 games, because I'm a, a strong believer that if you picked a player, you give him enough opportunity because you know his talent. Remember, so you have picked him for that talent. Sometimes some players they blossom early, some players take little bit of time. So you give that leeway, I would say, so to blossom, and it's a good sign that they are still sticking on with him. That's good. Uh, Again, I think As I said, Basil Thampi should start getting some wickets. That Unatkar is there, Bumrah. So I think they have just trying to look at their options. Ki what will be the best option for them? And hope that option clicks today, because they must be looking at some points. I'm telling you, because if you're playing in Mumbai, in Pune now, they will be looking for points, because bowling second, yes, there will be a due factor, but it will not be that easy playing under lights. So hopefully, they say, because they have been put into bat, so that works for them.
That's right. Also, Brevis looking good in his first outing for Mumbai. Deep.
Oh yeah, I mean, just wait and watch, right? You just wait and watch for this kid. I saw him for the first time during the Under 19 World Cup, and I was blown away. He's known as Baby AV
Yeah,
because I mean, you'd figure out. I mean, his mannerisms, the way he walks
yeah.
around, everything, his bat swing, everything's like ABD. And and also ABD actually himself mentors him also. It's not just the resemblance, but they are very close, and AB does mentor him. And just wait and watch. I have a feeling you'll hear that name very very often in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, Baby AV is on fire for sure. There is no doubt about that. We saw that in under 19 as well. But let me ask you guys one question that every Bangalore fan asks before the season starts. How far will they get? Actually, they don't ask this question. They ask the question, kya is baar jeetenge? But I'm going to ask you, how far will they get? Deep, I've asked Deep this question so many times, it's not even
Yeah,
funny.
I know, but I tell you what, I honestly think this is after a very long time. I've seen a Bangalore team which is looking like a unit. It is not dependent on one or two names or three names. And after a very long time, I've seen a Bangalore team which is, if I may say so, bowling heavy. You know what I'm saying? I mean, generally it was always about them being batting heavy and scoring on the run, but it's not about that anymore. If you look at that bowling style, it's one of the best bowling styles in the competition. So they have a very very good side, and they've started off well. So playoffs for me, bare minimum would be playoffs. I mean, the way they are going about things and the kind of squad that they have.
That's right. They also have a new captain there in Faf du Plessis. So, Lalchand sir, how do you think has Faf led the team so far?
See, so far it's good because they have started winning, and then he's handling the players well. See, Faf has been around for so long, and he was under Dhoni and CSK. He played. He knows the mindset of the Indian players as well, and he's taking that clue and getting the players to perform better. Bangalore earlier, if you look at them, their team, one year they used to be heavy on batting, one year they used to be heavy on bowling. So they never had a balanced team. This year it looks. They have a very balanced team. They got a good finisher as well. DK, they got a good sign in with DK, and the bowling department as well. So this year, definitely, I think they should be in the last four. Take it one step at a time. I think they should be in the last four, and then we'll take on it from there.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, gentlemen, now we know that Mumbai is used to a slow start. And do you think that this is the one where they should guess and get into gaming mode on? Because you see, think I'm making my debut today. And what a day I've chosen with the number of superstars that are coming on the field in the match. In match one, we saw, now
Yeah.
we've got the second match. So we've got Kohli versus Rohit Sharma, Fab du Plessis. Name the stars and they are there. So who do you think is going to win this one?
Well, for me, it's a difficult one, but I just hope that Mumbai wins this one because come on, they're the most successful team in this tournament. You've got to get them going. So yeah, I hope Mumbai wins. I mean, that's more of a emotional thing more than head. It's more heart.
All right. So your heart says Mumbai. And let me tell you, we had Nikhil in the previous one and he went with his heart and he lost. Rajchandra, sir.
See, Ridhima, I'm a Mumbaikar, so I'm always for Mumbai. I was with part of
Oh,
Mumbai, yeah. So I hope that they start off winning and getting some points from today. And the best thing I would like to see there is that Rohit Sharma getting a big score. That's very important.
All right. Well, by both my guests is saying Mumbai, चलो हम support करेंगे Bangalore को, हम करेंगे Bangalore को support. चलिए, before we say our byes and before I promise you that I'm going to meet you in the post show, let me quickly show you the summary of match 1, match 17 of the Indian T20 League. Here's a look. You've got Chennai and Hyderabad. Chennai posted 154. Hyderabad had to score 155. You had a crucial combination by Moeen Ali. Yeah, Deepak, what on the way Moeen Ali played today, and also that crucial knock by Ravindra Jadeja from Chennai.
Yeah, and sandwich between Moeen Ali and Ravindra Jadeja in that graphic, you see a very weird kind of an innings from Ambati, right? 27 of 7. I mean, that's where I think they lost the momentum. And obviously, Moeen being Moeen, I mean, we know he's in fabulous form. Jaddu is in fabulous form as well, playing for India last 6-8 months, or rather 2 years, forget 6-8 months. So, that innings there, 27, that 27 innings, the 27 balls is what, 4.5 overs there. So they kind of lost. They should have got another 15 runs, and it would have been interesting, another 15 runs on the board there.
That's right. But we also spoke about Hyderabad's batting already. But more importantly, Natarajan, Lalchand, so we were speaking about the way Natarajan has a crucial combination to make. And today he comes in and takes that crucial wicket of Ruturaj Gaikwad.
Yeah, see, I had told in the morning as well, in the afternoon, that because he's a very, very much improved bowler, I would say. And he has got the skill, And if you look at his, wickets, he always takes that, crucial wickets, where it matters. And I think he took the crucial wicket of Ruturaj Gaikwad because he's struggling for form as well. And the way he's been bowling his Yorkers, his slower ones, cutters, I think that has really helped him. And as I said, being a left-hander, it makes a difference, and it proved today as well.
That's right. But one thing that I really want to see is Ruturaj Gaikwad scoring runs. He played so well in domestic. Come on, man. Shift those gears. Give us some runs. All right. With that, guys, I'm going to see you in the post show. It's the big match coming your way. It is happening at MCA. So if you're in the आसपास है, जाए जरा मैच देखें. वैसे tickets already बिक चुकी होंगी. You're going to see a great show there. All right. Well, we're going to see you in the post show. This is Sky247.net presents Not Just Cricket.